Well, welcome back here to side 2 of the prophecies. And again, I reiterate that these are prophecies, that we have some control in these events, although a lot of the things we're talking about now are predictions which come from the higher Patali level, which come to pass whether we really have any say-so about it or not. Most of these events that the Patali level is passing on to us are events of natural disasters, volcanic, earthquake, and so forth, how the world is really going to change. And there's not much we can really do anything about it. If something were to be done about it, it would have had to have been done long ago. And apparently the subconscious thoughts, which are emitted by the 5 billion people on Earth, could have had something to do with it, and may in the future do something to make things a little calmer, but for the most part it's too late for that. On Wednesday the 4th of February 1976 at 6:10 a.m., Billy apparently never sleeps. He's up all night doing this stuff. He received another level of information from the Patali level, which talked mostly about earthquakes and volcanoes. And it talks about the volcanoes swelling up so high that they burst forth, of course, catapulting fire and lava through the air, causing great destruction of life. And it goes on to mention, and I'll read just a little bit here, it says, already the first time of destruction is here in the Southland, the old original inhabitants of America. This land will be hit hard in the near future, as will the land on which the black men hope. Europe will not be spared from the evil, for there under the land resides hell. Billy had been shown once, even inside the ship, that there is volcanic action beneath certain parts of Europe, which no one's really even aware of, which will erupt and cause major loss of life. It says one will speak sadly of the boot country, and that's of course Italy, and also of the countries with the blessing of earth gold. Also the land of the cherry blossoms will be shaken, and the city on the trench will be totally filled with rubble. This could probably be interpreted as San Francisco, the city on the trench, and that could be the San Andreas Trench here that they're talking about. Also the folk in the country of the sword lion will suffer, and the star in the half moon will not be avoided. Country of the gods will be hit or hard hit. The countries of the dragon and the hope of peace, when the fire of the volcano glistens hellishly, and the earthquake tears apart everything in many lands. So it's a pretty not very cheery scenario there. It talks about in Latin America, the border countries in Latin America. It says in the south from Latin America's borders, there the earthquake will hit very hard, taking a lot of lives. And there's just a little bit more mention, but it doesn't go into detail in this particular one, any more exact locations. Just kind of that coding there that we read a little bit earlier, so you might try to figure that out. There is unfortunately kind of a sad commentary on Great Britain. It talks about the island kingdom has been shaken in the northern Atlantic waters. It's the year of evil, the black time there where death awaits the country. It says the crown vacillates as an evil reward, as work and deed of the cult religion. Politics plays a role as well and destroys the good island homeland. The crown falls and breaks. The house of Windsor is asunder. The island kingdom is shaken. Bones are brittle and pale. The kingdom has fallen. Only legends about it remain. In the prophecies, there's something very interesting which I've never understood very well. It happened on Thursday, the 4th of March, 1987, at 1:47 a.m. And I'll go through this prophecy. It's from the Patali level again. And it's talking about someone in Switzerland. And it goes through talking about this individual, and you'll see what I mean. And after you hear the prophecy, it's confusing a little bit about who they're actually referring to. It almost sounds like they're talking about Billy, but it doesn't come out and say so. It says, you shepherd boy in very beautiful Switzerland, your blind eyes are filled with sand. In your own megalomania of thinking that you know better, you perceive yourself very educated, clever, and wise, when the father of death slowly sneaks up. It says, audaciously this person of Switzerland will think that he knows all the prophecies very well which are being explained to him. He will want to be very wise and clever, although only really stupid ignorance screams inside of you, it says. You believe in your great exuberance that the prophecies were of no importance to you. and you even thought that you knew everything, and yet what do you know when, if you had to? Be honest with yourself, it says. Everything is only illusion, an evil product from your megalomania shrine. It is easy for you to say after the fact that you had seen it all coming yourself. Where is your wisdom to do this? It says, all of your knowledge and thoughts rest. It says, don't overexert yourself in your exaggerations, for through them you will cause feuds for yourself. It says, you always want to be wiser than the others, then why aren't these prophecies your own? Remember, if you know and can do everything better, why has death and need sprung up everywhere? There's no truth in what you think, which shows your erroneous, stupid sense. You cannot interpret one single event in order to explain it to the Swiss people before it happens. Nevertheless, Swiss person, you presume so to say, I knew it all along and more. But what did you know? Not the least. Therefore, the death's ruination is already grinning at you. It goes on to talk about mountains that will break off. There's going to be great fires. It says the metal of the SBB, which is the Swiss train system, is torn in many places. But it says you don't pay attention to these signs. You don't see the damage, the need, and the corpse. You presume very much and even say that you knew everything beforehand. But you will see that your speeches are dung and your prophecies only utter ruse. For now that the first events have happened as an introduction, you will see many things much worse. There will be a great crash on the SBB soon. It will be termed the bad luck train. There's going to be mountains falling and major loss of life in Switzerland. This is a coming hell is coming to Switzerland. Mountains will break off the ridges, destroy live houses, huge areas. The Wergenspitz Mountain, it says, was only the beginning. Now, I don't know what the Wergenspitz Mountain's all about. We might want to look and see if something's happened with a mountain called Wergenspitz and see if that's happened yet. It says because other mountains will follow this severe crashing action. The lakes, of course, will cause great misery, it says, and demand victims as well. That there will be great fire, the earth itself will quake dangerously, and the Swiss will experience then hell day after day of fear. It goes on to talk about water, storms, droughts, and snow will rule. The hearts of the Swiss people will turn even colder. All the cantons, which are what they call counties in Switzerland, in beautiful Switzerland, will live on with gruesome, cold hand of death. And then it says, in Switzerland will become a coffin many times over. Then you can say again, O Swiss person, that you carried all this knowledge in yourself, that you knew of all the coming events, because you had seen them prophetically. You want to be very clever and so intelligent, thinking that your wisdom fell like snow on your head. But where is your wisdom? Where your knowledge? For it is always invisible, just to be overlooked. Therefore, don't boast about supposed understanding and ancient supposed understanding, and don't praise yourself too much because you really know nothing at all. This is a really curious prophecy. It's talking about somebody in Switzerland who's thinking they're very prophetic, who knows a lot, and who really knows nothing. It doesn't give us any indication of who it is. First time I read it, I thought there was some strange miswritten thing and it was referring to Billy, but there's no reference